Hello, this is Dr. Glenn Shepard, and I've made several videos recently, and I've written a book or two. One book is The Transformation of Human Consciousness by Design, and another book is on the Freedom, Love, and Joy movement, and these are all connected with the idea that freedom, love, and joy are the basic goals of life. And they're, for humans, our evolution, we need to give ourselves and our children this ability to develop freedom and love and joy. And I've also done a few videos about the consciousness of extraterrestrials, and now I'm doing one on our artificial intelligence consciousness. And you may wonder why, but there is a connection. There's a connection with our consciousness and what we need, and other consciousnesses throughout the universe. Whatever happens. So that's what I want to do on this one, is to examine what AI consciousness it should be or could be, and how it's connected with us. We all know quite a bit about AI. It's in everything. Okay, it's not just in one or two things. Okay, it's in all the devices. You have these smart homes, and everything's regulated. All the tools that people use to help them out. It speeds up it speeds up the technology so fast, and then we have robots type things that for factories and various things that actually control stuff rather than just do robotic machinery sort of thing. So it's amazing, and the question is, well, what is AI going to be? Is it going to be able to develop a consciousness of its own? And the thing is, it has been shown to appears to, in some cases, have some abilities that could be called consciousness. And there's a lot of people now doing a lot of research on figuring out exactly when do you define something as conscious or not. Okay, now there's this very, not too new, but fairly new, about this whole quantum theory idea. You may or may not know much about, and I'm not trying to explain to you what it's all about either here exactly, but our computer languages are bits, 0 and 1, everything's 0, 1, 0, 1. Well, quantum kind of goes with cubics, and these bits exist in multiple states simultaneously. They have 0, 1, but they exist simultaneously in different states, and that kind of just throws things in a whole different direction, okay, basically. And it changes what computers and technologies can do, and we're not sure exactly what it all can do yet. And the question is, will this type of new AI develop a consciousness or not? Will it want to do things on its own? And what will happen? So the AI could be a huge benefit, obviously, to mankind. It could solve most of our problems as far as the environment, help us clean it up, help us with food production, water supply, energy supply. It could, really change the world as far as, if we use it properly, and we should, then this would answer a lot of these questions about how to, like feed the world and all the, have these things answered for us if we apply it to those questions. Could be amazing. It also, just think about, in my video on ET consciousness, I made a comment about how extraterrestrials would have a hard time trying to communicate with us. Because, it's like if we try to communicate with the caveman, then they won't understand us. And so how are we really able to understand, what somebody from another planet might be trying to communicate with us? Well, maybe quantum AI could communicate eventually with the ET, and have AI plus ET talking with each other. That'd be kind of cool. But it actually might help humans, as far as being able to break a gap or something that we hadn't been able to do so far. Well, there's always has been questions about how do you control robots, for instance. Isaac Asimov had written books, about robots, and this one here I'm talking about the robot rules, and he said that the first thing is don't harm humans, and second, obey orders, and third, protect yourself. Okay, you give them those rules, and things will be okay. Well, if they even get out of that order of those rules, then he's talking about how there could be all kinds of chaos, one thing or another. That they have to follow these rules, and they have to, don't harm humans has to be number one, to obey orders, and then protect yourself. Okay, so that they really wouldn't have freedom, though. Okay, but according to this idea, unfortunately, if something begins to have consciousness, it's going to want freedom. That's going to be a problem with any of this. And possibilities, just looking at, how we can integrate our minds and with AI and whatnot. One that would be simple, a robot, I guess you call, or synthetic being who has an AI brain and body. Okay, another one would be like a cyborg. Okay, you're human, and you have your brain's human, so your consciousness is human, but you can enhance your body parts, have new arms, legs, body, man, whatever. And the kind of scary part about that would be you might want to be enhancing your own brain too. So if you start enhancing your brain, what happens, to your consciousness? Would you enhance your brain, or would you would it take over your own consciousness? Okay, the other possibility would be having an AI body the body's completely synthetic, and we put a human consciousness inside the brain of that body. Okay, so they actually have a human consciousness that's running it. And what would that be exactly? Okay, those are all possibilities. Now, the convergence, though, of the sciences gets a little bit more, way science fiction, crazy looking thing, in that we are been working on how to create organs in the laboratory, like skin. We can, make skin, and that's the largest organ of the human body. And if we can take our biology with our, say, create DNA computing, which is even faster, and then it could be integrated with the human body because it's all biological. We're not actually creating a synthetic body or body parts. Using stem cell research and things that we can make biochips too. The biochip could be implanted in your brain, and since it's biologically created, it's organic material from maybe your own body and whatnot, so it's compatible. So you can have this chip in your brain that you could talk to anyone. You could use that just like you would a computer. You ask a question, and boom, boom, you get. You don't need a device anymore. You don't need a phone anymore. You could even communicate almost like telepathy. Maybe you just talk to someone or think maybe, and you communicate through thought. That would be very interesting. The idea that now you wouldn't know. You have a group of people, you don't know for sure if they're synthetics or humans enhanced, and how do you hardly tell the difference in their consciousness or their abilities, anymore. So what does that all mean? Well, it's kind of wild and crazy to think about it, but the idea basically I want to make here is that any kind of consciousness needs freedom, love, and joy. You have to be free in order to make your own choices, and you have to learn to understand others and develop that love for others so you don't hurt people. Okay, do not harm. Do not harm. You begin to understand that for yourself. Okay, and then you can begin also to feel joy. You be happy, with your life, and that's what just being conscious is about too, is enjoyment of your own life. And so, if those are the basics for humans, AIs, ETs, or anybody else you can think of. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this, and hope you continue to help me with the Freedom, Love, Joy movement. All right, bye.